Hey everybody, I'm back. My name is Geneva and you are officially in Geneva's Closet. We have a very special interview for you today. This lady is a life coach, voice coach, and an author. What does that mean, voice coach? We need to figure that out. We need to. Thank you, Altovise, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Oh my goodness, I'm super excited about being on today.
Me too, me too. Now, can you please explain to everybody who you are, where you're from, and what exactly is it that you do?
So I am Altovise Pelzer. I am the voice coach, not a voice coach, but the voice coach. I empower women to find their unique voice. My target is normally women who have dealt with abuse, molestation, or rape, and I help them to realize that they have a voice. What they have to say really does matter, and it can help another woman, someone who's coming out of it or somebody who's in a situation that they have already come out of.
That's wonderful. Now, what made you decide to do that?
So I myself was molested as a child, but I did not say anything about it until 2015. My daughters were molested in 2009.
Wow.
And going through that whole process, I got to be on both sides of the fence as being the child who was molested and being the mother of the child who was molested. And, you know, knowing that process that people go through, being the people pleaser, thinking that you really don't matter, your opinion doesn't matter, you don't really know yourself, so you just kind of latch on to whatever everybody else is doing at the time and things like that. It really made me, you know, stand up and say, okay, enough is enough. Somebody has to do something. Somebody has to empower women and tell them that, no, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to go through that. It's time to do something different.
I think that's absolutely great. You know what? Because I too had some sexual molestation problems in my life too. And even though people tend to say that you shouldn't blame yourself for it, you know, because they say that a lot, that you shouldn't blame yourself for it. And I didn't actually come out and tell my mom about it either until my early 30s, because I'm like going on 39 now, until my early 30s. And Altovise, the reason why I didn't say anything to her was for that main reason. I really still thought that it was something that I must have had done. And I'm like in my early 30s. So people really do feel that way, even though we shouldn't.
Definitely. They either feel that or they feel that nobody's going to believe them. That's the other stigma. Nobody's going to believe them, especially if they've waited a long time to say something. People are going to think they're lying. If it's somebody who's close to the family or someone who's in the family, they're not going to believe that it happened. It's going to be your word against theirs.
Yes.
And, I mean, it's just, oh my goodness, so many things that we go through.
Yes, it sure is. It sure is. So when you say that you are the voice coach, what exactly does that mean for people that may need your services? What exactly does that mean?
So that means that I take you through a process.
Okay.
My clients call me a cliff pusher.
Okay.
But I take you through a process. I
Okay.
take you through the process of not only looking at what you've been through, going back, writing it out, and then saying, okay, what am I going to do next with this?
Okay.
So for instance, 2 of my clients will be speaking this weekend for the first time ever, telling their story.
Wow.
And if you would have asked them last year, they wouldn't have even mentioned being a speaker. They might have mentioned possibly writing a book or possibly starting a business, but being at the level that they're at, they wouldn't have even thought about it. And, you know, bringing about so many ideas and emotions, and they're just looking at me like, is this really happening?
Exactly. And then you were the one to make them come up out of that and then feel like that they want to tell their story. Yeah. Oh, wow. This is a serious process.
My one client,
go deep with it.
Literally this morning just said to me again, all I wanted to do was write a book.
Wow. Wow. I know, right? And that's
all I wanted to do was write a book.
Right.
I didn't see myself being a speaker. All I wanted to do was write a book. And it's like, okay, literally what you have to offer is a blood donation. There's somebody who's waiting for a blood transfusion. Will you let them live or die? And I came up with that statement after all of the recent events with people being killed with the police and things like that. And the one gentleman was killed in front of a store, and he was selling CDs out of the trunk of his car. And I said, you know, somebody was supposed to be mentoring him to take him to the next level. Who was it supposed to be? So somebody could have taken him to the level where he was no longer selling CDs out of a car, but now he's on iTunes.
Exactly.
Or now he's selling MP3s through his own website. You know, who was supposed to be that one helping him to transition from it just being, you know, because he showed dedication. He was trustworthy. The owner of the store said that he would leave him in charge of his own store.
Oh, wow.
For times, you know, for periods of time. So he was trustworthy. He was dedicated because he was doing it for, I think they said like 2 years. That shows dedication. So who was supposed to be that one person to take him to that next level? And I think each of us have something on the inside of us that we can help somebody get to a next level.
That's true, because a lot of the time people just need direction. That's all we need is direction, a little bit of some tools on what should I do? How do I get this done? And so I agree with that 100%.
Definitely. And it makes a difference. I know for the other client that's speaking, she said what did it for her, because she went live and talked about it. She said what did it for her was, I was talking about a young lady just recently. So we had, now the thing that's going on now is the string of teenagers and young ladies who are committing suicide and live streaming.
Oh, whoa. Committing suicide while they are live streaming. Get out of here. I didn't even know that was going on.
So there's been 2 that have been in the news recently. There was one in December where the young lady, she hung herself from the tree that is in her front yard.
Wow.
They had just recently opened up a sexual abuse investigation. And, you know, so many things were going on. If you look back now and you'll see videos of where her mom didn't know she was recording, and her mom are going at it, and just you could just hear the different things that were going on in the home. And I said again, who was supposed to be there for her? So she was crying out, she needed help. Who was supposed to be there to help her? Exactly. And my client said, you know, because my client has dealt with depression before, she said, you know, that really touched her, because it was like, wow, I've been there. I could have helped.
Right. I think that sometimes we be scared to go on, you know, because I look at you on Periscope and you faithfully go on there and, you know, speak about whatever it is that you need to speak about daily. And I look at that and I be like, you know, because I said I was going to go on Periscope too, Altovise. I said I was going to start going on, and I still haven't did it. And I'm just going to be honest about it and say the reason why I haven't. It's because I don't always feel, even though I know some things that may be beneficial to other people, there's still a part of me that don't still feel like I may not bring value, you know, with the things that I'm saying, especially because there are so many other women, oh my God, on Periscope talking about marketing and this and that and how to do this and that. So then I try to figure out, well, Geneva, how would you fit in? So what would you say to women out there, Altovise, that's thinking just like me?
So for the woman that's thinking just like you, I say that there are tons of motivational speakers.
Okay.
A bunch. There are a ton of women that go live on Periscope each and every day that motivate women, that encourage them from anything from fashion to fitness to faith to, you know, finances, anything possible. But I had a woman, I go live normally around 6:45 in the morning.
Okay.
And I was live and I was talking about how, you know, for some people you have this disconnect from your family. You haven't spoken to them for whatever the reason. And a young lady came on and she said she hadn't spoken to her brothers for years. And it was because she had been molested. Okay. And, you know, it was the thing of people not believing her and that whole situation. And, you know, so it really took a toll on the family dynamic. It took a toll on the family relationship. Well, where she was, it was 3:00 in the morning. Okay. And literally she had gotten up by happenstance because her kitten had gotten stuck underneath the sink. Okay. And somebody shared the scope. She hopped on because she was already awake and boom. Wow. We got into this conversation and it was a freeing conversation for her. And she said, she started to cry. And she said, you know, in all this time, that's one thing I've never done. Is I never sat and just cried about the situation. Wow. And just let that happen. And it was touching because, again, here it is, it's 3 a.m. for her. Exactly. Who knew that she would come in contact with me? But if she had not have come in contact with me, when would she have had that opportunity to cry? Exactly. And that's that everything happens for a reason type of thing, isn't it? Yes. Isn't, you know, because I done had situations like that too where it's something that's probably been on my mind that I had been thinking about and wondering about, and then a certain something happened where I find myself reading something or an article come up, or matter of fact, it's been like that with Periscope too. Something that's been on my mind, like, how do I do this with business? And I just happen to go on Periscope looking at somebody else's video, see somebody comment, click on it, go to their videos, click on it, and like, whoa, I didn't discover something that I didn't even know. And that's how you find out that thing, that everything happens for a reason. I was supposed to find out that information. So she was supposed to talk to you, right? That's how you see that? Exactly. So it goes back to that statement. If you know, what I have is a blood donation and somebody needs that to live, they need that blood transfusion. It's a dire, they just were in an accident and they need it. Something's wrong as far as their blood. They need that blood transfusion to push out the old and bring in the new. Like, there's so many different reasons why somebody needs a blood transfusion, but it doesn't negate the fact that they need it. That's absolutely true. So is that the value that you bring to people, Altovise? Is that you're able to break them down and understand what the root of the problem is and get them to speak on it, talk on it? Yes. Okay. Exactly. Okay. And for everyone, the process is going to be different. The process is going to take a different length of time. It's never that immediate aha moment because everybody has gone through something different. People have buried it. They have, buried it deep. Yes, that's true. Buried it deep. Some people have swallowed it and just moved on, or felt like they, you know, that's what they were able to do. But in all actuality, a lot of things in our past are like, they're evident in how we talk, and how we love. They're evident in how we act and react. They're evident in how we think. And so when we really start peeling apart those different layers and get to the bottom of it, the root of it, it's like, oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly how I be. I know it's been like that for me, finding out about myself, like, oh, so that's why I do the things I do. You know, because I've even realized now the way that I handle some things with business is based
Yeah.
on some things that happened to me when I was young that I'm probably not fully over yet. You know, like insecurity issues. Because I would say me not going on Periscope, worrying about everybody else and what they're doing or whatever. I know that the deeper thing to that is that I still got some insecurity issues, even though I'm on Geneva's Closet talk show. People wouldn't know that. You know, but really I do. Deep with it. You know what, Altovise? I may need to get a little session in with her right quick so we can get deeper with Geneva. You know, because I want people to, you know, because that's very important to go deep with it and then to find out what the root cause of issues are. And I want people to know exactly what it is that you do, because if they're able to tap into that, thing, that may help them out. A light bulb may go off and they're able to go to the next level of their life. So Altovise, as far as that, do you mind giving pricing? Because I know people give, you know, have a hard time, you know, don't always want to give pricing right off.
It just depends on what I'm doing at the time. I have an event coming up this weekend. That's $25 or $35.
Okay, it's reasonable.
And one-on-ones with me are anywhere from $250 to $500 a month, depending on how many one-on-ones we do a month.
Okay.
What else? And then I have classes coming up as well, depending on what your specific need is. So if you're doing this so that way you can become the speaker, then I have a whole class that'll be set up for that. If you're doing this to write a book, I have a whole class that's set up for that. Because you have some people who they may never write a book.
Mm-hmm.
But they may be able to get on stage and present something that is so dynamic that people are like falling out all over the place, fell out on the floor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's perfecting that craft. It's creating that, you know, that momentum and that moment for them.
Right.
I spoke last weekend, and this was the funniest thing in the world, because my assistant was just like dumbfounded looking at me going, I don't know how you did that. I was speaking, and I originally had 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 to 45 minutes. And I was like, great, 30 minutes. Awesome. I've done this before. I wrote out what my speech was going to be, and I was excited. And then I found out that I only had 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Like a minute before I was supposed to go up. And she's like, you know, she's looking at me because she's like nervous.
Wow.
This is her first time ever being with me live. And she's like looking at me, and I go up and knock it out the park.
Get it, girl. Get it, girl. So you took 45, 30 minutes, what you originally thought you had, shrunk it down to about 10 minutes. And how much time did you realize that it wasn't going to be what you thought it was going to be to the time you had to narrow it down? How much time was that? Like 5 minutes? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, and it was, you know, I showed them the process that I did, you know, that I was able to do it, because it's easy once you have that process in your mind and you've been, you know, studying it. I was just like, no, it was simple. And I mean, it was amazing. They invited me back, and, you know, they raved. I put the video up on Facebook.
I seen it, girl. I seen
200 views. I was just like,
I mean, but you did a great job though.
And it was amazing. And it's about, how do I connect with that person in anything with your business? Because there may be some that come to me, they may not be writing a book, they may not be becoming a speaker, but they may be stepping into that entrepreneurship. You still have to have them the same skills when it comes to connecting to your client, because guess what? It's not about you.
That's true.
It's about what they need.
This life coach thing is not just life. It can be business too, because you feel like they all really go hand in hand.
They do. Yes.
Okay. Well, people.
Now, I may not be able to help you write your business plan.
Right. Okay.
Help you do your budget. No, but I can definitely pass you on to somebody else that can.
Okay.
But if you're still trying to gain access to the structure of your business. Who's your client? What does your client look like? I can guarantee those things, if you don't know them, you will waste time and you will waste money because you'll be all over the place.
That's true. Now, is it difficult getting speaking jobs? Because I see a lot of people saying that they speak and you're speakers and I'd be like, how in the world they getting these speaking jobs? And someone once told me that she actually got her speaking jobs from going to the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm like, I didn't even know it can happen like that. So is it that easy, or?
This is the thing. I feel as though everyone has something that they can speak about.
Okay, now, there she goes. She making me feel a certain way. See, I'm feeling a certain way right now because she said that.
Yes. Now, your audience may not be a stage in front of 1,000 people.
Okay.
But you still have something to speak about.
What are we going to speak about? We don't even know what to speak about.
So I tell people all the time, I said, are you a mother? Are you a daughter?
Okay.
Are you a sister? Are you a friend? You have something to speak about. Look at the experiences in your life. You have something to speak about. Have you gone to college? Did you finish high school? Did you drop out of high school? You have something to speak about. And people don't look at it in that, that's why it's so funny. I have on my unicorn shirt because they call me a unicorn. I see things different. I speak different. I think different. It's completely opposite of what other people think. Okay. But the reality is, every experience you have, you've gained some type of, I hope. Let me put that disclaimer. Yes. I hope you have gained some type of wisdom from it. And when you gain access to that wisdom, that is your moneymaker. That is what you speak about. That's what you write about. And we're always gaining more access to wisdom. We're always learning something. We're always, listen, if we're the person that started the business and 2 years later it collapsed completely, guess what? That's a topic to talk about. That's true. A book.
It's true. That is true.
It is.
Yeah, because that makes you the expert then. You know what I mean? Yeah, you done turn to the expert because now you know what to do, so you don't lose a business or whatever.
Not to do, who to look at, who to, okay, don't go that way.
I know you're an expert at this talking thing, because when I was reading your bio, I was like, this woman is no joke. Because not only have you written books, okay, now I'm going to throw out some of it and I'm going to let Altovise go and explain the rest, but I've seen an 8-part series with books, Getting Through Difficult Times, The Ripple Effect, It's Okay to Try, and then her second book, which is Define Your Voice. But wait a minute, people. Did I say I was done? No, I'm not done yet. Because in addition to that, she's been a writer. She's blogged. I just said she was an author, but then you're the host of Morning Press. But then you've also hosted some other things on Blog Talk Radio. And so you're very much into speaking and getting your words out.
Yes. And I had to do it afraid.
Okay.
I am just as shy as they come.
Right, because I was going to ask you, because the first question was going to be, so when you first started going on Periscope, how was that for you? But I'm pretty sure by that time you had already had some experience. You hadn't had experience? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, well, give it to me, girl. Give it to me.
So I always say that your coach should have a coach. If your coach doesn't have a coach, then there's a problem, because your coach should always be learning and growing. They should always be trying to gain access to more information. My coach, her name is Miss Danielle Winningham. So this woman is a powerhouse. I don't know how I got connected with her, but it just so happened I downloaded the Periscope app to support somebody else, mind you. That's not even using Periscope anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I download the Periscope app. I don't know who shared her out, but I go to her broadcast and I'm like, okay, I like what this woman is doing. Okay. I'm listening, I'll follow her for a little while. So then she's talking about this class so you can learn how to do Periscope, how you can go live and, the process of it and everything. I'm like, okay, great. At this point, I hadn't gone live. I had my one little lonely heart. You know, when you start, you got that one little lonely heart. I had my one little lonely heart.
I seen them pages.
Not going live.
Okay.
So, you know, she's given us these, you know, these different things, and we have challenges and things that we need to do. And like, when I first started going live, you would see me like this. I'm rocking back and forth. I'm twitching.
Wow, just nervous. Nervous. Yes.
And I don't know what it was, but everybody just kind of gets that nervousness when it comes to just pressing that red go live button.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
It's like the world is around you, you know, just like you don't know what to do.
Yes, girl, because I be sitting up there like, I don't know. I done walked away from it, came back. I don't know. Yes.
Exactly. So it was not, you know, I didn't go on and like, kaboom, here I am, I'm here.
Okay.
No, it was completely different. And her class was for 10 weeks. And, you know, I kind of gained my footing, but I still wasn't on the level of where I am now, but I was gaining that footing. So this is the beginning of 2016.
Okay. So it hasn't even been that long. Okay.
So I haven't been on Periscope long.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, so I'm gaining my footing. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I'm in somebody's scope and my coach says, hey, inbox me.
Like,
okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Oh.
Like, what? Did I do something? Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Immediately I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
Right.
So I inboxed her. She's like, give me a call. Oh, I'm about to be on the phone with my coach. The offense all around me.
Right.
She literally got on the phone and she said, okay, so what's going on? And, you know, we had maybe about a 10-minute call. And in that 10 minutes, I went from being, you know, that shy person that was rocking back and forth to like, okay, no, I'm going to do this. I got this. All right, let's go. Okay. And, you know, coming up with better content and moving and shaking and to the point where in less than a year's time, I have gone to silver when it comes to Periscope, which, you know, VIP level. I've gone to silver. I've, you know, connected with different people across the world. Like, wow. It's been bananas. And it's like in the beginning, no, that was not me at all. I was that laid back. I'll be behind. I was always the behind the scenes person. Oh, I was the pusher. I was the encourager. I was the administrative assistant. That's who I was. So being out in the forefront has just been this change in the last year. And it's been really crazy. Like,
well, wow, that's, you know, that's pretty amazing. Because yes, a lot of us do tend to struggle using Periscope and trying to figure out what content, you know, like what things to talk about, first of all. And secondly, not getting caught up on looking at them numbers, because those numbers alone can make a person just be like, forget it, stop it. And then just
I went live and it was just me and the Perry man. That
right. Right. You're like, oh my God.
It was just me and the Perry man. But it's like, okay, baby steps, you know, that process, you go through it. And then as you get to that next level, it's like, okay, you look back and you're like, okay, I didn't do too bad. All right, let's go to the next level.
Okay, so it's all about believing. Is it all about believing that whatever it is that you're going to go up there and talk about, it's just going to be of some value? Is that what it is?
Exactly. I never know. I never know who's going to be on my scope. I never know if what I'm saying is going to resonate with them.
Okay.
I mean, I've connected with people enough that I have people who come on specifically because they want to hear what I have to say.
Okay.
But you still never know who you're going to connect with. You still never know who you're going to engage with. I connected with a woman that's a pastor in Pakistan.
Oh, wow.
With a bodybuilder in Indonesia.
Oh.
I've connected with a woman, her name is Janine. She's in the UK. So I'm making connections.
She's international, people. She
right? International connections.
Yeah.
So opportunity, I think, has to outweigh the fear.
Okay.
So for me, that's what it had to come to. It was like the opportunity outweighs the fear. When I see that the opportunity is now outweighing fear, it's like, okay, I got to do it afraid. I still go on and stumble over my words.
Right.
I still go on
Me
and
too.
forget what I'm talking about or get off topic. A troll will come in and that'll throw you all the way.
Yes.
Yes, I still have my moments. I laugh because I had a few weeks ago, I went live and was doing like a special scope, and I had a troll come in, and you know, I engage with the troll sometimes. And another troll came in and was being disrespectful.
Okay.
And the trolls started fighting.
What in the world? What? Now I don't even know if I've ever, two trolls is fighting in your scope. Okay.
Because the other one's like, hey, I like what she's saying. They'll calm all that down.
Right.
and you know, my regular followers they're cracking up laughing. I know that they're laughing and in tears.
Right.
I know that they are. Because they're like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
But you never know who you're going to engage with. Today I went live and did the scope about the hijab, and a young lady was on there and she was just like, thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
You know, thank you so much. And that's what it is. You'll literally have people who say, thank you for going live.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing this information. Thank you for you know, taking the steps to be in this position, because it allows me to see that I can do the same.
Yes, because you never know who you're inspiring, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you never know who your words just may be touching, whether they respond or not. I guess it's all about just trying to see if you can help somebody.
Definitely.
Touch the soul, people. Touch the soul. Altovise, can you tell the people just a little bit of, you know, information about your books and where can they find them if we want to get them?
So I have 3 books that have been published. Another one will be out next month. I am going in.
Go get it, girl.
So if you go to bit.ly/press series, you can get to all of my books. They're all on Amazon. And the first one was It's Okay to Cry. Now, it took me 8 years to publish my first book.
Why is that?
I struggled.
Was it writer's block or what? Because I hear a lot of writer's block.
Information.
Okay.
But, you know, I downplayed what I could do.
Okay. I understand.
I was like, oh, are people really going to buy the book?
Okay.
And it was going back to the same thing with being the speaker or being, you know, someone on Periscope. There's already a flooded market. There's already people doing it. Do I need to do it as well? And so I looked around and I was just like, I don't know. You know, I fought myself, even to the point where I love books. I love reading. But I would, you know, go to like the thrift stores and things like that and pick up books all the time. And then in my mind, it was like, oh, well, your book will end up at a thrift store. And I had to fight back and say, okay, but even if it does, that means somebody bought it first.
Yeah, that's true.
It means somebody bought it first. So this is not the first round of it being able to bless somebody or encourage or uplift and empower somebody. This is round 2 or possibly round 3 or 4 or 5, because we share out books.
Absolutely.
So that was the first one. It started out as the press series.
Okay.
And it was all going to be one book. And then, you know, everybody doesn't eat each part of it. So I broke it down into the 8 parts. Okay. So the first one is It's Okay to Cry. And even the title, I fought myself because I was like, who gonna buy a book that's titled It's Okay to Cry? It's okay to cry.
I don't know why I wrote try. You see, people, do you see? And I actually said that. I said, no, it's okay to cry. We're going to have to.
Why would somebody want to buy a book that's titled It's Okay to Cry. But I've had so many, just like with the woman that I connected with on that one day, who said that it was her first time she had ever cried about the situation. And I was just like, that's the title of my first book, is It's Okay to Cry. You know, people have this stereotype, this thought process that, you know, crying means weakness. But your tears are actually connected to your strength. And so I go through that whole process in that one. That was published in March of 2016.
Okay.
In June of 2016, I published Define Your Voice.
Go, girl.
And that was, that one only took me a month to write.
Okay. You was an expert by that time.
Okay.
Like, I'm not waiting no more 8 years.
Get it out. Exactly. That one took a month to write. I got it out. And it takes you through the process of what it means to define your unique voice.
Okay.
And what that means for each individual person. And something I talk about in that book is your pivotal moment. You know, when you pivot, you change your direction. And we each have not just one, but several different things that have happened in our lives that have been a pivotal moment for us.
That's true. And
it all contributes to our unique voice. So when I go live and I talk to people, I'm talking to women who have been through abuse, molestation, and rape, because that was a part of my major pivotal moment between telling people about me being molested and as well as, you know, going through the whole process with my girls. So that's a big piece of 3 pivotal moments in my life. So I can talk about that.
Exactly.
And it helps women to gain access to that understanding that they have something as well. And then the third one that just came out in January is the ripple effect. And that is that whole idea that, you know, everybody talks about Peter getting out of the boat. And, you know, they talk about, you know, oh, he took his eyes off Jesus. Oh, he started to sink. Oh, he had to be saved. But the reality is he got out of the boat.
Okay. That's true. That's true.
And, you know, even though he may have had a moment where he took his eyes off Jesus, a moment where he started to sink, he got out of the boat. You know, some of us have been asking for things and looking for things to happen, but we're scared to get out of the boat.
Yes, that's true. Okay, now. Oops.
Yeah.
You said it, I didn't. She giving you the truth in Geneva's Closet. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah, because I like that about, did you say Peter? I mean, with the names, girl, the names. Yeah, you said that it didn't matter about the other stuff because the main thing was that he got out the boat. And that's what we have to look at sometimes. That the one at the bottom, the deep, the beginning, yeah.
Exactly. Yes, indeed. And once we start looking at that, the root of the issue,
yes.
the right.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Gain access to so many other things.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, and you done spit these books out, haven't you?
Yes.
You hurried up and got those out.
Yes.
Well, congratulations with doing that. I mean, because I know a lot of people right now have been talking about writing, becoming authors. That's why I use the whole writer's block, because I hear a lot of people talking about writer's blocks and things like that. So what would you say to people that want to write a book, taking them a while, they're scared, they don't know what to do? The same thing that you said was a lot of people that have books out like that. So should I make another one? I don't know. What would you say to them?
Go for it.
Just go for it.
Go for it.
Do it.
Go for it. When you write a book, you become the expert. You are already the expert because you had the experience. You know, some people get hung up on thinking they need a degree. They need some letters behind their name, and they need this and they need that. Well, I have letters behind. I have the CLC. I'm a certified life coach. I have letters, but it doesn't negate the fact that I have the experience.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know what it is to be the people pleaser. I know what it is to always say yes, to be the yes person and not feel like you have the power to say no. I know what all of that feels like. It's dangerous.
Exactly.
It's dangerous because you never put yourself on list, or you're always at the bottom of your own list. So, yeah, having the letters is powerful on paper, but experience is just as powerful. And you, whatever experience that may be for you, I mean, it could be from buying a home. Literally. I'm gonna give y'all this little look. I'm gonna give y'all this, just because we're in Geneva's closet.
You don't let it out, girl. I'm
gonna give y'all a little juice. I'm gonna give y'all a little juice.
Tell it.
If you go on Amazon and research it, there are books that are 1 page long.
Oh, seriously? I didn't even know they had that.
Selling.
Okay, selling. Actually making dollars. Okay.
There are books that are they're called short books that people can read in 30 minutes, an hour, and they're categorized on Amazon.
Okay. How is that even possible? You said 1 page. I'm like, how is that even possible? Okay.
There is no excuse that you can give that you can't write a book.
You know what? That's true. And just like she said, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. You know, because one thing that I try to tell myself, because I do get caught up in that whole thing of, well, other people are already kind of doing that. So then should I do that? And that's kind of where I went a little bit when I started Geneva's Closet. But and I'm not saying that I don't still have days that I still think like that, because I do. But this is how I try to look at the situation. Yes, there are a ton of people that have a talk show. You know, so I'm just going myself. There are a ton of people that have a talk show, got good shows, do a way better job than I do, got the pictures and stuff, and they on set. But the fact of the matter is that can't nobody talk and do it like Geneva can in Geneva's Closet. So everybody can have a talk show all day long, but you can't do it like me. You can never. I can't be like you. You can't be like me. So so that goes to say with everything, writing a book. Okay, yeah, there may be some other books out there about abuse and relationships and blah, blah, blah. But I'm pretty sure whatever you're going to bring into your book, it's probably going to be a little bit different the way you phrase it, your stories, whatever the case may be, than the other people's books. So just try to look at it like that you're different. You're different, and can't nobody do you quite like you. So that's my
that is where the unicorn came in. And I don't even remember how we started with the unicorn. Yes. But that's what I am considered. I am the unicorn.
Why do they say that though? Okay, so why do they say unicorn?
So for me, it's because like I said, I think different. I see things different. Right. You can give me anything and I can give you a 360-degree view on it. And people are like amazed by it. So for instance, I went live and I said, why do they call me the unicorn? Okay, tell me something you did this morning when something that you've done this morning. What have you done? And someone said prayer. And I said, okay, I'm going to tell you how you can relate that to business. They said, wait, what? How you can relate it to business? I said, right. Yeah. I said, so prayer is something that you do in the morning. That is your morning ritual. So what is your morning ritual when it comes to your business? Prayer is something that's getting you closer to God. What other things are you putting into place when it comes to you getting closer to your clients? Is that something that you're even thinking about?
She's good. This lady is good. Go ahead, girl. Like I'm taking notes right now.
When you think about prayer, everybody prays different.
That's true.
Some people need a quiet room when they pray. Some people get on their knees when they pray. Some people, sit in a chair. Some people play music. So everybody prays different. So why would you try to fit your business into the same model that somebody else did it just because they had success doing it that way or because they said you were supposed to do it that way? No. If you pray different, then why wouldn't you do your business different?
Mm-hmm. Yes. She's good.
And they were on there like, oh.
She's good.
Oh, you better do that.
Yes, just dropping that great info.
You better do it.
Yes.
That's what I do for my clients. And we can sit down and they can bring me an idea. They can bring me a problem. And I will turn that thing all the way around with as far as the content, as far as the ideas. And they're just like, oh, yeah, that's good. Let me write that down.
I know. Yes.
What about this? Can I add this to it? And
yes.
Add it to it. Oh, okay. It's almost like we're making stew.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everybody's stew not the same.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Some people put just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Some people have an actual recipe that they go by. Everybody's stew not the same, but it's still stew.
At the end of the day,
it's still stew.
That's true.
That's what I do.
She's good. I'm just saying that. You know, I feel like I need a life coach. I may need me a life coach. I may need her. People want to hear what you got to say on Periscope. Get some words of encouragement, because that's free. She's giving that information out for free. Everything that she's saying on there to empower and enlighten you, to motivate you. Where can they find you at?
So they can find me on Periscope, Instagram, or Facebook at Find Your Voice Now.
Yes.
They can connect with me, send me an email, contacts@altovisepelzer.com. Mm-hmm. And then also I have a private Facebook group, and that is, you can go to bit.ly/group voice, and they can come and join the group. I do special webinars for those who are in the group. Last month it was a speaking webinar. This month it's all about Instagram. Okay. So they're all excited. For March, there's a CPA that's coming and doing the webinar to tell you how to be debt free in business. So yeah, they're my babies, they're my love. It is go get it season. For years we have done SMART goals and New Year's resolutions, talking about writing the book and moving forward in our business. And this year it is just go get it season. That's what we're doing. So that's my goal for this year has been to empower 2017 women to find and define their unique voice. So it is definitely go get it season. Are you one of the 2017 women? Because let me tell you.
Yes, and thank you again so much for taking the time out of your day to come and speak in Geneva's Closet. You have a fabulous rest of the day.
Yeah, you do the same.
Bye.